Hey everyone, it's Dwayne here. Welcome to another episode of Snapshots from the Summit. 5 minutes of amazing goodness that will enable you to unlock the money vault, flip the bird at the 9 to 5, and slash decades from building wealth. Okay, let's dive right in. We are on episode 2 of the mental model that I am going to share with you, where we are talking about what the one skill, the super skill, or the superpower that you need to make sure that you have locked down, no pun intended, locked down when it comes to making sure that you're ahead of the competition, ahead of the in this age, the pandemic, or ahead of your ability to be able to unlock the money vault, right? So I gave you in episode 1, if you haven't listened to that, go back, listen to it, the FASTER acronym that we are utilizing for explaining this particular model, right? And episode 1 was about the F component of the FASTER acronym, which stood for forget everything that you think you know, right? And today we're going to concentrate on the A component of the FASTER acronym for the model about how you need to, or how you're going to be able to utilize the concept of learning, unlearning, and relearning, right? Which is the superpower that you need to make sure that you have nailed down when it comes to being coming out, unlocking the money vault, flipping the bird at the 9 to 5, and slashing decades from building wealth. You need to understand and you need to implement this particular model, right? Because it'll help you speed up the process of learning, unlearning, and relearning. Right, and today we're going to talk about the A component, and the A component stands for action or activeness when it comes to learning, right? So the question becomes, as you learn, as you relearn, how can you implement action during the learning process? What can you do to solidify the learning that is taking place, right? So that you can pick it up quicker, so that you can easily implement it in your life, so that you can get the results, right? So you can slash the time that it takes to get the results. The A stands for action or active, right? So if we're learning, if we're reading a book as an example, or we're watching a training or a seminar or whatever it happens to be, how can you be active in the learning process as opposed to being passive? So as an example, being passive is just you've got a book and you're just reading it, right? They've already proven scientifically that within 4 days you've literally forgotten everything that you've learned in reading that book, right? So how can you actively participate in the experience of learning that from that book? Okay, so can you take notes? Right? Can you take notes? So there's the power of the pen and the pad, right? There's something about writing that solidifies the learning process. As you go about learning, utilizing the pen and pad to solidify that learning process, right? Making sure that you're writing down the learning in your own words. Right, so you might have learned about a particular subject. How can you write it in your own words so that it makes it easier to recall and solidify the learning so that you can implement it easily as opposed to just rote note taking, right? So that's one aspect or one example of active learning. What are the other ways? So as an exercise for yourself, what are other ways that you can be active in the learning process? Doing exercises is a great way. Let's say you're learning about the skill sets of selling or rejection or handling rejection. How can you go about and get the experience of what it takes to handle rejection? One of the things we did with our clients is we had a rejection challenge, a 30-day rejection challenge, where the goal was They were learning about how to handle rejection because it's all about negotiating, etc., etc. How can you go out there and handle rejection, right? So one of the things we did was we set up this rejection challenge, and that's an example of being active in the learning experience, actively going out and and the whole goal was to get rejected, right? Go and ask for a discount, go and ask for 50% off a particular item, etc., etc. So the A portion of the FASTER acronym when it comes to learning, unlearning, and relearning is all about how can you be active in the process of learning as opposed to passive, right? Because that's going to help you ultimately, as we talk about it in the context that we're talking about it, it's going to help you unlock the money vault because you're learning stuff and you're learning it quickly, which is shortening the time between A and B, A and the result. That's what you want to do. You want to shorten the time between what it takes to get from where you are in point A to where it gets to the result that you're looking to achieve. Okay, that's it, my friends. That's today's episode of Snapshots from the Summit. I will be back on the next episode with the S component of the FASTER acronym for learning, relearning, and unlearning. Unlearning and relearning, whichever way you want to put it. Okay, this is Dwayne signing off for the team here at Conquer Your Everest. I will speak to you again on the next episode of Snapshots from the Summit. Till then, bye for now.